Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my eyeshadow palette collection for 2017. Now a year ago, exactly around this time, I did film my eyeshadow palette collection for 2016, and I just showed you guys all of my eyeshadow palettes that I had in my collection for that time. Obviously it's been a year now, and I did add quite a few other eyeshadow palettes that I've been loving to my collection, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. But if you guys are interested to see my eyeshadow palette collection for 2017, then please keep on watching. The first one that I have here is a Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. Packaging is pretty. As always, all of the Too Faced packaging always gets to me. It's so cute. This one does have little hearts in it, and this one also smells like chocolate, which is amazing. This palette is a little bit more cool tone and does have more pink shades. The quality of the shadows in here is amazing. They're so easy to work with, easy to blend out. Again, like I said, you do get some pops of color in here. So these are how some of the shadows look. You do get quite a few different shades of brown, which I find that are perfect for the crease. I want to kind of smoke it out. So this is a really pretty palette. The next palette I have here is a Nars Narsissist palette, and I don't want to blind you guys, but it basically looks like this. It has a mirror in the front. You really do get some beautiful shades in here. You get this blue, a bronzy gold shade, as well as some more darker shades in here to kind of create a smoky eye for the night times. And these blacks are actually really pigmented. So a new palette that I recently added to my collection is a Morphe 35O. You have both matte and shimmers. They do have an all matte 35O and an all shimmer 35O, but the one I have has both matte and shimmers, and the shimmery shades in here are so nice. They're really pigmented. Quality of the Morphe eyeshadows is just amazing, and the mattes are actually really nice to blend out. They're not chalky whatsoever. Another palette that I have here and that I forgot to mention in my other eyeshadow collection from 2016 is a Too Faced Stardust palette by Vegas Nay. Now the packaging in this is so cute. It actually looks like a book, and I really like this palette. It's so beautiful. You have a matte black shade, a really pretty gold shimmer shade. You get some pops of purple. Unfortunately, this palette was limited edition. It's not available anymore, but I just thought I'd mention this. I also have the Makeup Geek and Mannymua eyeshadow palette. First of all, the colors in here are stunning. They're so pigmented. Before I got this palette, I've never really tried any of the Makeup Geek shadows, so when I got this palette, I thought it was just the perfect time to test these out. I know this red looks a little bit intense, but if you go in with the light hand and you just blend it out, it's stunning. So as you guys can see, these are really pigmented. It was, I believe, limited edition, so I'm sorry about that, but I just thought I'd mention this as well. The next palette I have here to share with you guys is a Kylie Cosmetics the bronze palette. So this actually has been my go-to palette that I've been using. I usually tend to use this if I run errands, if I'm going to school. You do get a nice matte black here that I find that's really nice to work with, and then you do get some more brown shades. You do get more of a darker shade here. You do get also some orangey shades, which I love, and then you do get a really nice highlighting shade for your brow bone or to set your eyeshadow primer with. If you haven't picked this one up and you're kind of thinking about getting it, I highly recommend it. It's really pretty for every day. The quality of these shadows is actually really good. I've never had problem blending out my eyeshadow or them kind of creasing throughout the day or not having that much pigment. I really do like these, and I find that this palette is well worth the money in my opinion. Sticking with Kylie Cosmetics, I also have the Burgundy palette. This palette is gorgeous, you guys. If you're into berry tones or burgundy shades, I highly recommend this one. I would actually recommend the Burgundy palette more than the bronze palette if you're more of the type of girl that loves to play with color or just plummy shades. This one has a mix of mattes and shimmers as well. The only thing I don't like about this palette, which I wish it had, was a really nice matte white or creamy shade to set my eyeshadow primer with. This one has this shade right here, but it does have some shimmer. I mean, it still looks pretty if you want to highlight your brow bone. As you guys can see, the pigmentation is awesome. The next palette I have here is the Violet Voss and Laura Lee eyeshadow palette. This was limited edition. I don't know if it's still available. This palette looks like this. It's really pretty. When I first got it, I fell in love. It was all I was using on my eyes. Look at the shades in here, you guys. They're so pretty. You do get a lot of warm tones. You do get really nice matte black, a brown, you get a green, a really intense gold. And actually some of these shades are duochrome, which is so awesome. It's like my go-to palette. It's perfect for every day. You can create so many different looks with this just depending on what you're feeling that day. The shimmery shades are super pigmented. I don't really have to go in with Fix Plus, and I just love the quality of these shadows. This palette was a little bit pricey. I believe I got it for like $50 something, but it was well worth my money. I really do love it, and it's actually one of my favorite palettes in my collection. Next palette that I have here is the Urban Decay Electric palette. Now when I first saw this palette, I wasn't really gonna pick it up, but I remember I went into, I believe, my Macy's one time, and this palette was actually on sale. I got it for I believe like $24, and originally it was like $49. So I thought, why not pick it up? I feel like this is perfect for the summer if you want to be playing a little bit more with color, but I thought I'd just incorporate it into my collection because I don't really have a lot of palettes with a lot of pops of colors. Most of my palettes are more neutral. I'm really going to be playing around with this in the spring and the summer. Next, I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Master Palette by Mario. The shimmery shades are so beautiful. This palette does have, I believe, only 3 mattes and the rest are shimmer or have a sheen to them. This is so beautiful, you guys. You do get the perfect transition shade, and you also do get some pops of color. You get this nice blue in here and this green, as well as more pinky tone like berry shades and some really nice light gold shades. I'm just in love with this palette, and I'm actually so happy I picked it up before it was gone. So a new member to my collection is a Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. The very first time it launched, I really didn't get my hands on it because it got sold out and it was so hard to find it anywhere. But when they launched it again, I knew I had to pick it up. The packaging is so stunning. I just love everything about it, and the shades in here are so beautiful. You can create a lot of different looks. I love all of the Too Faced palettes. They never disappoint. The quality is amazing. They're so easy to work with. The matte shades are actually really nice, and if you haven't gotten your hands on this, I highly recommend you guys check this out. So we're almost done. I only have 3 more. The next palette I have here is the Tarte and Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I picked this up not too long ago when this palette actually came out. It smells like chocolate as well. Like, I really love when palettes smell like chocolate. The thing I love about this palette is that it comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. So it's basically an all-in-one palette. It's so nice to travel with. You do get a really nice bronzy shade and then some pops of purple. So I really do love this palette. Another palette that I have here is the Kylie Cosmetics Holiday palette. I don't know if you guys can see. This palette, I have some mixed reviews. The good thing about this palette that I really loved right off the bat is that it came with a mirror. Her other ones didn't really come with a mirror. When I started playing with it, I just didn't like the quality of these shadows, to be honest. The only shadows I really do like are the ones at the top. This one's actually called Gingerbread, and this one is called Silent Night. These in the middle, I don't like them. They're not pigmented enough. Something about this palette was just a miss. I just don't find it to be as amazing as the bronze palette and the burgundy palette. I tried applying these all over my lid and they were just so patchy. I had to go in with a makeup wipe and remove my eyeshadow because it just looked super terrible. It actually looked like my eyeshadow was creasing and it was just not cute. So like I said, the only ones I actually love are these right here. This silver one is super intense. I really do love it. I have nothing bad to say. I find that it wasn't worth spending my $45 on this palette, or $42, whatever it was, because I really only like 6 out of the 9 shades. So I was kind of disappointed of this palette. Again, if you didn't get your hands on it, don't worry. I mean, it wasn't that great. I find like her other 2 palettes are way better. Okay, so last but not least, the last palette I have to share with you guys is a Tarteist Pro palette. You basically have a lot of beautiful shades, some pops of color. You have some all mattes and 4 like metallic-y, duochrome, shimmery shades, which I love. The shadows are not drying at all. They blend out really nicely. They're easy to work with. They're not patchy. You do get both warm and cool tone. So if you like a little bit of both, I would recommend you guys check this palette out. I recently did a tutorial using this palette on my channel, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link down in the description box. Okay guys, so that makes it to the end of my eyeshadow palette collection for 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let me know any other palettes that I didn't mention in my video that you guys recommend me to check out, because I'm always willing to try out new eyeshadow palettes. I feel like eyeshadow palettes are my weakness when it comes to makeup. Like, I'm just a total eyeshadow palette junkie. So other than that, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe down below so you can keep up with my future videos. And yeah, other than that, I love you guys and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!